All right, today we're diving into something pretty amazing. It's this global TV phenomenon that takes a simple, little plastic brick and turns it into some of the most high-stakes, high-drama entertainment you'll ever see. Yep, we're talking about Lego Masters. I mean, seriously, think about it for a second. How do you take a kid's toy, something we associate with creativity, fun, and, let's be honest, excruciating pain when you step on one in the dark, and turn that into intense, high-stakes reality TV? It sounds kind of crazy, right? Well, Lego Masters totally cracked the code, and their formula is just fascinating. So, for anyone who's not in the loop, the basic idea is pretty simple. You've got teams of two, they get a theme, and then they have to build these absolutely incredible creations. Easy enough, but, oh, the execution. That's where things get really complicated. And, brilliantly stressful. Okay, so let's get into the anatomy of a challenge, or what I like to call the high-pressure formula. Because really, how do they create that reality TV magic? Well, it all boils down to the structure of the challenge itself. Every single episode is just a masterclass in building pressure. You could say brick by brick. Okay, so here's how it usually goes down. It's this brutal four-step process. First, you get the brief. Then you have the build, which is just this intense race against the clock. And just when you think you're safe, bam, the twist. And finally, the judgment. For example, in one challenge, teams had a good 8 hours to build a scene from a storybook written by actual kids. And then, here comes the twist, the host reveals a forgotten page. Suddenly, they had to add 2 completely new things the kids suggested, with only 5 more hours. It's just pure, calculated chaos. Genius, really. And you've got to understand, the expectations are just sky high. I love this quote from a contestant, Emily, during a fashion bag challenge. She said it needed to be high fashion. Think Vogue. Don't think Target. I mean, wow. They're not just asking for a bag made of Legos. They are demanding couture. No pressure at all, right? And this is what I find so cool. It gives you a peek behind the curtain. We, the viewers, saw them making these fashion bags, but what we didn't see were the secret requirements. Things like the bag needing a working strap and a functional opening. So the stuff they're dealing with is always way, way harder than it looks on TV. All right, so that's the challenges. But let's be real, that's only half the story. Section 2, the contestant archetypes, the human element. Because like any great reality show, the real drama, it comes from the people. And Lego Masters is honestly a perfect case study in the kinds of character archetypes that keep us coming back for more. So you've got your classic players, right? On one side, you have the seasoned pros. These are teams like Mark and Boone. They're charismatic, they're technically brilliant, they're the ones everyone is betting on to win from day one. But then, on the other side, you have the underdog story. Think of teams like Tyler and Amy. They're that cute story, the team that just pulls on your heartstrings and makes you really, truly root for them to succeed. And of course, it's not just the contestants. You've got this whole cast of characters making the show what it is. You have the host, Arnett, who is just hilarious and seems to genuinely connect with everyone. Then you have the expert judges. These are actual Lego employees, so they're giving real technical critiques. And then you get these amazing fan-favorite guests like Terry Crews, who just bring this extra layer of fun to the whole thing. Okay, now we're getting to the heart of it all, the part that fuels endless fan debates, the judging. Is it arts or is it science? This is where the whole debate really heats up. And look, nothing captures the controversy better than this quote from YouTuber Flash about the season 1 finale. He said, honestly, I don't necessarily think that they deserve to win. Oof, that finale became a massive flashpoint for fans, and it really gets to the core tension of, how on earth do you judge creativity? So let me break it down for you. You had Mark and Boone's build on one side, this incredibly detailed city tower, just packed with little intricate stories. The judges even said it reminded them of something you'd see at Legoland. Then you had Tyler and Amy's build, this huge, visually striking fantasy scene with a griffin. The judges ended up picking the griffin, but a ton of fans were like, wait a minute. They felt the tower was way more technically impressive and actually told a better story. And that right there, that is the million-dollar question that keeps the fans talking season after season. What do you value more? Is it the pure technical skill and all the little details of the tower? Or is it the compelling artistic storytelling of the Griffin? There's just no easy answer, is there? But, what the judges say on TV, That's really just the beginning of the conversation. The real action happens online with the fan verdict. This community is so passionate and, man, they don't miss a thing. I mean, the fans on places like Reddit, they don't just watch the show, they analyze it. They go deep on the technical stuff. Check out this comment. I cannot comprehend for the life of me how he can make the wings spread out before flapping. Like, that's the level of detail they're getting into. They appreciate the engineering just as much as they appreciate the art. And they're totally dissecting the strategy, too. This fan comment basically points out what's become a golden rule of the show. You don't listen to Brickman, you have no chance of getting through. See? The fans totally get the game within the game. They know who you have to impress. And naturally, it's not all serious analysis. They have a ton of fun with it. The community comes up with its own inside jokes, like this one. Stop, he really does look like a garden gnome. It becomes this whole shared experience that's so much bigger than just watching the show on your couch. So when you put it all together, this online community is just a massive part of why the show is such a hit. They're passionately debating every single decision, they're sharing jokes, they're analyzing builds brick by brick. They're not just watching the show, they are part of the show. And that really brings us full circle, back to that big question. In a contest of creativity, can there ever truly be a right answer? The magic of LEGO Masters is that it keeps asking that question. It's constantly pitting technical skill against artistic storytelling, careful planning against beautiful chaos. And in the end, it kind of leaves it up to us, the viewers, to be the final judges. And you know what? In a competition like that, maybe the debate is the whole point.